Warning. Warning. This is not a test. This is not a test.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for round 3 of the Freight Racing and SpeedU Race for a Ride series. This is Legends Cars, 13 to 18-year-olds. We have different announcers in the booth tonight. With my co-host Victor Pfluger, I am Alex Coffey, and you are watching Ballin TV. We're wrapping up heat number 2 here, and then the B main will be underway. This is race number 3 out of an 8-race regular season. We are looking forward to some good racing tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the Legends Oval at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Unfortunately, iRacing does not have the current repave for the Legends Oval. We're in Hampton, Georgia, virtual Hampton, Georgia. Also my home track. And yeah, Victor, you have any words before the B mains get started here?
So far tonight, we've seen some great racing in the heat races so far here tonight. I bet you these guys are wishing for that 24-degree banking on this small flat track here tonight, looking at how treacherous it's been to get off turns 2 and 4. Alex, looks like we got the point standings up where Chase Pierce has a 10-point lead over 5th place, but having 10 cars inside that 10-point, or 5 cars inside that 10-point bubble sure is exciting for this season.
Yes, it definitely will be a very exciting season. And it's a very tight points battle. I mean, back to 5th is only 9 points, so it's still a wide open game for anybody to make up some points here in the last half of the season.
Absolutely, especially with that tie there at 2nd place. That's going to be something to watch here tonight as storylines unfold, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just so our viewers are aware, me and Victor are somewhat new to announcing here tonight. I'm also race control, so trying to manage a bunch of things at one time. So be patient with us. We're going to do the best we can, and hopefully we don't disappoint any of the viewers out there tonight.
You know, Alex, after the chaos seemingly in the Heat 1, Heat 2 here has been relatively clean with only 1 caution flag, and Chase Pierce just kind of taking it to him. This latest restart let Kremborg get up to 2nd, and he's been able to stay closer to Pierce than we've seen anybody else do, but still, Pierce just kind of has that commanding lead out there up front.
Yeah, Chase Pierce and Travis Kremborg are our race 1 and 2 winners, so those are 2 definitely looking to be strong tonight here at Atlanta. This is also the track that the winner of this series will get to race a real Legends car for a fully funded race. So this is possibly some good practice for some of these guys that are looking to take it all the way and be a threat in this series.
Absolutely, Alex. And tonight our main event will be 40 laps. We have 24 cars going to start in the feature with 3 green-white checkered attempts. There are no fast repairs here tonight, so everybody's going to have to keep that in mind as they go through. This is the fixed iRacing setup, which has presented its own sets of challenges, like we talked about. Exit of 2 and 4s especially seem to be a little treacherous here tonight, so definitely going to be an interesting one. Just another quick reminder for you folks at home, with the top 6 from each of these heat races automatically transfer into the A main, and we will have a B main to take the next 12 into that 24 car A main feature tonight. Looking at the grid here for the B main, row 1 we have Grayson Singleton with Everett Larson to his outside in the 07. Row 2 looks to be the 15 Lucas Hayes, outside him the 32 of Ty Dorn from Georgia. Row 3 is Brian Glover in the 56 and Ethan Hicken in the 51. Next row back, we see the 10 of Cameron Ledoux and the 101 of Aiden Weaver. Right behind them, we're going to have the 37 of Wyatt Youngblood and the 13 of Lucas McFall. Rolling off on the inside tonight will be Carson Sherman in the 9 and Evan Johnson in our 66 car. Camelette in the 7 and Edison Carter in the 6. Cole Bennett's going to roll off from the 15th spot in the 24 car with Aiden Slightholm on his outside in the 16th. And our final starter in the B main here tonight is going to be the 97 of Alex Smith. Excited to see these guys get this race going tonight, Alex.
Yeah, looking to be a good one. I always love some Atlanta racing. I'd raced Legends cars here myself in real life for multiple years, so I've seen a lot of Legends races here in the day, and seen a lot of exciting ones, and seen a lot of not so exciting ones. So hopefully we get an exciting one here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like the pace car's off, and we are green flag racing here tonight. I think it'll be a little bit interesting. We've got some fast cars that didn't qualify so well going to come back. Ooh, and the 124 looks like a big loose off of 2.
Yeah, they went in 3 wide to 1 there, and that's always sketchy. We got a lot of contact back here in the back. Looks like we're gonna have a now.
Yellows, yeah, caution's gonna be out here, and that just looked like it got started back there off of turn 2 when the 124 got loose coming off the corner. Wow, just a lot to unpack there. We're gonna take you through it here, though. The 66 here, we're kind of focusing in on his view of things. You can see up in front, the 124 gets a little loose, and they're still making contact at this point up in front of them. So when we come into 3, it's not surprising to see the mayhem that ensues, but oh, he just gets tagged in the left rear there. Doing a great job of finding his way through and picking the hole to get through, but just not quite enough there at the end. Sometimes luck goes your way that way. Riding on board with him here, yeah, just look at all these cars fanning out, nowhere to go. Some slight contact there, but he thinks he's clean. Oh, gotta hate that for him and the 37 both with the contact there. But for the most part, it looks like everybody's come through without too much damage, so I think we'll have most of these cars still on track for here tonight. Oh, look at this view of the 37, 101, there's that 66 we were on board with earlier. Oh, and there's the contact that got him.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. It was a stack up basically from the front row to the back, so no individual driver, I'd say, at fault there. It's just everybody was going to miss the stack up that happened up front and ended up having a stack up in the back.
Yeah, you know, we have 15 cars out here on track tonight still for this race, and that's a lot of cars to put on a surface this small. You're always going to have some kind of interesting moments happen from that. Just maybe didn't expect it so soon. This B main here tonight's going to be 25 laps, so you know, hopefully these young guns realize that, get a chance to get into a rhythm and see if they can start making some spots.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, we are here for the Freight Racing Race for a Ride. As the green flag is out, we're heading down into turn 1 here. Oh, we have
more contact again. Yeah, the 124 again looks to have some trouble getting into 1. I'm gonna have to take another look at that one there. I'm not sure I saw exactly what happened. I just noticed the contact. Here we go. Looking on this replay, 124 gets a great restart, wants to make it 3 wide up the middle. Oh, and it looks like the 51 might not have known he was there. Slight turn down on him. We'll get another angle at this here. Let's watch this 124 here. He's going to get a great restart. Look at all that. Thinks he's got a chance at it. Sets himself up in the middle. Oh my, might have been more net code involved in that one. 124 blinked right there.
Yeah, it looks like a slight connection issue for the 124. But
that's a shame for him and the 51.
Looks like nobody hurt too bad, damaged too bad, so everybody will live to see another day here, and we'll re-rack them and get going back green.
Yeah, you really hate that both for Singleton and Hicken on that one. You know, both victims of an unstable connection, and now they both have some work to do.
Yeah, and right now your top 5 here going back green in a few laps will be Everett Larson, Brian Glover, Ty Dorn, Carson Sherman, and Edison Carter wrapping up your top 5. 12 cars transfer from this race, and we have 15 on track. So unfortunately, 3 of these guys will not make it to the feature, but they will still get awarded points. So it's not a total loss of a day. If they do not transfer, they will get points as if they did. We limit to 24 cars for the feature just because there's such small tracks and so many cars packed on them. It's the best way to get some green flag racing in.
Yeah, Alex, you mentioned that 12th place transfer spot. And, right now, we've got Cameron Ledoux sitting in that spot with Wyatt Youngblood, Ethan Hicken, and I believe, yep, Singleton, all behind him. So that's going to be an interesting fight as we get back going green.
Yes, sir. We're green off 4 here, and our leader gets a great restart. That's going to be Everett Larson down into 1 with Brian Glover on his outside. Brian Glover has a little slip up off turn 2, allows the 32 of Ty Dorn to get to his inside. Now that's going to put him back battling side by side with Carson Sherman off turn 4. Another side-by-side back behind them for 5th between Axel Smith and Edison Carter. They're still side-by-side going down into turn 3.
Sure are, Alex, and as they come up there, we're seeing a lot more racing happen from this point back in the pack. Top 5. Oh.
Welcome to it, Victor. Welcome to the
welcome to it. Yes,
commentator curse. You know you don't avoid the word caution as a commentator, and that's what we're learning here early.
I got the feeling that even without us here tonight, this might be the case anyways. But looking at that caution there, I'm not quite sure what happened. I missed it happen live, so we'll take a look back here.
Yeah, it looks like it's between the 15 and the 37.
Yeah, so that's going to be Lucas Hayes and Wyatt Youngblood there.
Yeah.
Having a little trouble.
We'll see what happened down here when they're coming off of 4. I believe it'll be this time by up here. Maybe next time by.
Oh, and the 37 just wasn't ready for that, was he?
Yeah.
Big check up there.
I think it's going to be this lap off 4 that the actual incident for the caution came out. Going down into 3 here. It looks like Wyatt Youngblood was going for a crossover. 15 gets a little loose, and Wyatt just had the momentum and tagged him. Nothing malicious there. Just kind of didn't expect him to get loose there.
Unfortunate byproduct of short track racing here tonight, isn't it?
Yep, you'll have that.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like we're getting them stacked back up here 2 by 2. Everett Larson in the 07. Ty Dorn on the front row with Carson Sherman, Brian Glover, and Edison Carter out behind him, rounding out top 5.
Yeah, Everett Larson's been getting some great restarts. We'll see if he can continue that trend here. Looks like they're going to double up next time by the flag stand. So, well, actually, we're going green now. I'm sorry. He hasn't
with a great restart again.
Immediate yellow out here. Let's see what happened. Let's check and see.
A little bit further back in the pack on that one.
Yeah, it was nothing up front. Looks like it might have been just a self-spin from the
self-spin.
Getting on the gas too hard on the restart and just looped it around. It's not hard to do in these Legends cars, especially with the new update. They tend to be loose off the corners here, so.
Absolutely, Alex, all too easy, and you hate to see that for the 7. Now he's got to go out there and make up a couple of spots here if he wants to make it into the A main tonight. Ethan Hickens done a great job of recovering back into that 12th spot, however. Him and Singleton both with those early issues, and they're both now up inside the top 12.
Yeah, also unfortunate for the 7 car. Looks like they had connection issues earlier in the race. They just reconnected a few laps ago and are sitting 13 laps down, so definitely a uphill climb for them. I'm not sure if that's one that they can make happen, unfortunately, with there being less than 13 laps to go. So, yeah, unfortunate circumstances for the 7 there.
Yeah, you really hate to see that, but credit to him for staying out here and getting some more laps in, learning what he can out of a bad scenario, man.
Yeah, it's always good to see somebody that never quits, no matter the circumstances. We like to see it, so.
Looks like we're racked up here, getting ready to go green again. Everett Larson gonna try that restart strategy of his one more time.
Yeah, it's been paying off. If I was him, I would just keep doing what I've been doing, because he's holding the control spot right now and seems to be holding it pretty well, so.
Yeah, sure seems to be working out really well for him so far. He's just able to get into one really, really well, and that gives him that security to come off two and start working on getting away from the field instead of worrying about racing everybody.
Yeah, we also can't count out Carson Sherman and Ty Dorn there. I'm sure they're willing to give him a run for his money as we're at green off 4. The leader has a little slip up, but it's going to allow him to maintain.
Ooh, quite the checkup in the one there.
Up caution out here. Let's see what happened back here. I think it was another incident mid-pack here.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get eyes on that one, so we'll take a look and see. See, everybody's lined up nice, ready for this restart.
It looks like the 124 might have spun his tires on the restart there. The gray and maroon car up there, and then kind of spun it back up track and caught Wyatt Youngblood up in that. Unfortunately, it looks like the 124 and 37 have hit the incident limit tonight, so.
Wow, that's a great find there, Alex. Incident limit will get you every time. It's shame to see it for those guys. They had a great chance of racing their way back in.
Yeah, it's and that is very unfortunate for them, because it puts them outside of the top 12, so outside of a transfer spot. So very bad luck there for the 37 of Wyatt Youngblood, just to be caught up in basically somebody else's mess.
Hey, but you know what? We have some great news for the field here now, Alex. We only have 12 cars left running on the lead lap, so everybody who's on track right now will make the transfer.
Yeah, that's great news. If I was out there and learned that you don't have to race as hard, I'd just be ready to, get this race finished up, keep it clean, and make sure I don't hit that incident limit. So we'll see if those guys have the same mindset here, or if they want a better starting spot for the feature. We'll see if they go for that.
Absolutely. That's got to be on everybody's mind as we get ready for a green-white checkered attempt here. Pace car should be pulling off this time, and we'll go green to see who can pull off the win. Think Everett Larson's restart strategy is going to keep paying off, or you think Ty Dorn's had a chance to see it and might have a plan?
Ty Dorn gave him a look there right before that last yellow, so we'll see what he can cook up here as he gets the wall a little bit on the front stretch. Going to fall back to battle for 3rd with Axel Smith. And we just got word from the viewers here that the number 7's power got knocked out from the severe storms that they're having, so we want to wish everybody some safety in the storms, and I know there's a good bit of the southeast going through storms right now, so we hope everybody out there is okay.
Absolutely, Alex, but it looks like Everett Larson's going to take home this win here tonight.
Yes,
Carson
sir.
Sherman second. Yeah. Alex Smith in 3rd, Ty Dorn 4th, Aiden Slightholm in 5th, Brian Glover 6th. And we'll have to get you the rest of that rundown here in a moment. But good news is our A-main field is set for tonight.
Yes, Brian Glover 6th, Aiden Weaver 7th, Cameron Ladeau will bring it home P8 in the B-main, Edison Carter 9th, Evan Johnson 10th, Ethan Hicken in 11th, and Lucas Hayes will be your final transfer spot in 12th. And we do have some driver spotlights to go over here while our guys warm up out here. we're going to bring Aiden Weaver into the booth first. Aiden Weaver, it's Alex and Victor up in the booth. You got a copy? Aiden Weaver, it's Alex and Victor up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're one of our driver spotlights for tonight. So tell us a little bit how you're feeling tonight going into this race and what you expect and what your goals is for tonight.
We just barely got by in the B main, so hoping to try to get up there and maybe get top 3 or maybe a win. It's just going to be tough because it's a good field of competitors.
Yeah. We also hear that you're a 5-time karting champion in the Tennessee Championship Series. Can you tell us a little
Yes,
more
sir.
about how that is going for you?
So it's dirt, so I'm not used to this at all. I'm used to like sliding and stuff, and so I'm having to figure out how to keep the car straight in this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely a different ball game when you get from dirt to asphalt. But good to see you out here, man. Good to see you giving it a try and giving it your best. It's always what we like to see. Anybody you want to shout out that helps you get everything done week to week?
Definitely my dad for all these. Drives my family. Mainly my dad.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dad's always a big help in the racing world. So shout out to Dad out there. Last question for you here: where do you see yourself in racing in a 5-year span?
Hopefully in a late model.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, Aiden. Go get them and keep it clean out there.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, our next driver spotlight will be Wyatt Youngblood. We got Wyatt Youngblood up in the booth here with me and Victor. We'll let Victor take over and give a rundown of our driver spotlight for Wyatt Youngblood.
Hey Wyatt, how you doing tonight? Good to see you out here. How you feeling about your racing tonight?
I'm feeling, well, I got disqualified after that 13X incident limit because got wrecked by people who can't drive. But I think we can keep on going and win a couple of races this season, but wish we could have been there to stick around and race for this one.
Yeah, I can understand the disappointment with that one, but like you said, it's a long season, a lot of opportunities. Is there any of the races left on the calendar that stand out to you as high points for you?
Let's see, is LA Coliseum coming up again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that one sticks out to me. I don't know what it is about that track that I'm better at, but last time we were there, I had a really great run and I could pass cars better than some other drivers, and so yeah, that one sticks out to me, and I think we can get a win there.
Well, that's something that we'll keep an eye out for you for the rest of the season on for sure. Hey, I'm looking through some of your bio here, and some of your inspirations are Logano, Kurt, and Kyle Busch. So tell me, what do you think their attitudes would be at a race like this here tonight? You know, especially going into the B main as tough as what you just went through.
Well, I think they'd be very aggressive, which is what I tried to be. I tried to be really aggressive without wrecking people. I tried to stay confident during all of it, but I tried to go to the front, and it just didn't work out, but yeah.
Yeah, some nights go that way, but it was great chatting with you up here tonight. Is there any shout outs that you'd like to give? Here's your chance to thank the people who help get you here every week.
Yeah, topspeedgraphics.com, Crown Security, and a bunch of different people that sponsor me and help me out.
All right, well, I'll ask you the same question I asked Mr. Aiden Weaver. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in the racing world?
Well, within the next 3, I hope to be in ARCA and win a championship there. And then when I turn 17, 18, I hope to be in the Truck Series and competing for wins there, and hopefully end up in the Cup Series one day.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck to you, and good luck the rest of the season out here. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again up in the booth soon.
I don't think.
That was Wyatt Youngblood. Unfortunately, we went over. He got caught up in a late race incident there, but we're lining up here to start the A main. Your front row is going to be Billy Snodgrass and Chase Pierce. Lining up P3 will be Chase Hart. P4 is Travis Krimborg. AJ Nichols will be in 5th, and Chandler Gallman starting 6th. Your 4th row will consist of Sean Hilkowicz and Chevy Romney.
Rolling
Bentley
off
Thompson.
Knight's Bentley Thompson to his outside, Connor Robinson in the 11. Rolling off row 5 on the inside, we're going to have Jacob C. Clayton in position 11 and Brody Gunter in that 01. Everett Larson's going to roll off 13th with Carson Sherman to his outside in 14th. The 97 of Axel Smith's going to take the 15th position here, and Ty Dorn in that 32, 16th. Hayden Slideholm's going to roll off 17th with Brian Glover in the 18th position. Rolling off 19th is Aiden Weaver, and in the 20th spot is the 10 of Cameron Ledoux. 21st is Edison Carter, 22nd of Evan Johnson in that 66. Ethan Hicken in the 51, and Lucas Hayes in that flamed 15. So that's our field for tonight. Alex, any thoughts before we get kicked off green here? What are we going to be looking for? What's the key to success?
Well, the key to success here is mainly survival. I'm just going to be having a clean race, keeping out of trouble as we're going green off turn 4 here. Outside gets a good run. They're going to fan out.
Trouble in the back.
Car's
Trouble in the back. Yeah,
looks like
the
he's
9
spun off
car
the
looks
race
like he had it.
surface, so there's no yellow. Oh, we have another wreck here on the backstretch. That's going to collect a few cars here. We'll get a replay up and see what happened back there.
Yeah, that initial one was the 9 car back there on the initial start. Looks like he just kind of had the tire spin on him a bit. Took it down to the inside here, kind of unexpectedly. Oh, there was some netcode and a checkup in front of him. Connection issues seem to be the name of the game here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. With all those storms rolling through the southeast, definitely going to have some, probably have some guys with some connection issues. Looks like we had a pretty big pile up on the backstretch here. That's honestly might have been a blessing in disguise for Carson Sherman to be out of that by the time they got around to the backstretch. Looks like that's going to involve Chevy Romney, Brody Gunter, the 77 of Jacob Clayton, and also Ty Dorn involved in that one.
Yeah, connection issues definitely something we're gonna have to keep our eyes on as the storms roll through the southeast and disrupt racing for some of these drivers here tonight. Oh, you gotta hate that for Ty Dorn. He really kind of looked like he had it sorted out and figured out, and cars just kept coming into his path of travel.
Yeah, you'll have that with a track like this that's so small. There's only so many places to go to miss these wrecks, so got to keep your eyes open and stay on your toes here.
Look like we're going to get the 1 to go this time by, so it looks like Billy Snodgrass is going to go ahead and take us back under green from the first position. Chase Pierce, though, on his outside, and Travis Kremborg in third. Pierce and Kremborg are both race winners already this season, so that's going to be interesting to see how Snodgrass handles this restart.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get a good jump here and maintain what he's got up there. Billy Snodgrass going to take the green here. Gets a good jump out in front of Chase Pierce. Looks like Chase Pierce.
He had him cleared.
Yeah, it looks like Chase Pierce is going to file down into second. Travis Kremborg down into third. We have another wreck off turn 2 here.
Does look like that's going to bring the yellow out, Alex.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and get a replay on what happened there. So it looks like it involved Chandler Gallman and AJ Nichols.
Yeah, we'll all get a look here together.
Looks like the 33 was coming. Had to check up for the 48 a little bit. Left the 81 in kind of a little predicament down there, and they made contact, and it sends the 33 around. So nothing malicious, just trying to check up for cars in front of them, and ended up getting turned because of it. So it's unfortunate to see for the 33. He'll have to make a climb from the back. But AJ Nichols has shown some speed this season, so I think he can. I think he can climb back up.
Absolutely, Alex. I'm sure he's got the talent too. 33 to go when we go. Looks like 32 to go when we go back green here. We've got a lot of laps left and some real talent in the back. Hopefully we can see some green flag runs here and see some of these guys try to make their way forward with a little bit of patience here.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting ready to go back green here. A lot of cars on track for a small track like this, so you will have some incidents. But like you said, hopefully we can get some little space given between each other and get going for a green run here. And also, I'll just touch back on what you talk about. There's a few people having some connection issues that I'm sure has to do with these storms rolling through. So we'll see if that'll
you and I
back.
know, Alex, that can really make a tough track like this even tougher when you're racing the surface to start with, and then you have a vehicle that you're not sure where it is. We come back to green.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're rolling out of green for turn 4 here. Billy Snodgrass gets another great restart. Chase Pierce is able to file down back into second. Travis Krimborg third. Oh, Billy Snodgrass slides up a little bit in turn 3. That's going to give Chase a look to the inside. Let's see if he can. They're going to be side by side through turn 3. Billy Snodgrass gets loose again. That's a product of the cold tires on these new Legends cars with the update that iRacing dropped a few weeks ago. It takes a good 5 to 10 laps for the tires to get up to temperature and actually start gripping up how they should. So, but no harm, no foul. He files back into second, and Chase Pierce will assume the lead here.
Starting to look like heat number 2, Alex, with Chase Pierce out front, and Snodgrass wasn't in that one, but chasing him down just as hard. Oh, it looks like we got some trouble on the back. Yeah, still under green, but the 4-car gets it going again here.
No caution, no caution.
Oh, and it looks like just a weird little deal there where the 4 got checked up and the 32 couldn't quite miss him and turns him around. Looks like everybody's going to keep going, though, Alex. No damage.
Yeah, it looks like iRacing didn't throw a caution for that because it looks like it's kind of off the racing line. iRacing is weird about that sometimes. So we got another one looped off 4 here, and they're going to bring out the caution. So.
Yeah, that one was just in front of the leaders there, Alex. I'm glad the caution came out and didn't end the race early for some of these guys up front.
Yeah. We'll have to go back and see who that was that got turned around down there. I didn't get a number on that car.
I believe it is the 42 that got turned around off of 4.
Oh, yeah, just got in the gas too hard, it looks like, and looped it around. No damage, though, for him, so he lives to fight another day.
So easy to do here when you're in the moment and chasing down the car in front of you, and you just want to get that little bit of gap closed, so you pick the throttle up and end your day just a little bit earlier than you thought you were going to. But lucky for 42, no damage. He'll be able to continue on, get another chance at it here tonight.
Yeah, and I actually hopped in the pre-race practice myself and did a few laps just to get an idea of what the field is going to be like, since I was going to be announcing tonight, just to be able to relate more to what these guys are feeling. And it's definitely the setup, the Fire Racing Fix setup definitely is pretty loose off of these turns here. So I'm sure a lot of guys are probably having to fight that car getting off the corners tonight, but for the most part, everybody's doing a good job.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to stack them back up 2 by 2 here. So Chase Pierce will be the one bringing him to green this time with Snodgrass to the outside. Kremborg in his familiar 3rd spot for this restart. Bentley Thompson is going to be 4th, and Everett Larson rounding on our top 5 as pace car's off.
Pace car is off, and we go down to the restart zone. Chase Pierce is going to get a great launch, allowing Billy Snodgrass to follow down into turn 1.
Oh my, huge wreck off before. No caution yet. That was the 442.
Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, it looks like the 15 got a little loose, got down into 4, and they kind of all did a 360 and kept going. So we don't have a caution from iRacing. It's a little inconsistent on the cautions tonight from iRacing. I'm not sure how their caution algorithm, I guess you could say, works tonight, but we do have a caution on the track now, and I believe that was the 51 of Ethan Hicken that went around off turn 4 for this caution.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Alex. You know, instant limit going to start playing into effect for a few of these guys here tonight, I think. Might end some nights early.
Yeah, as we look down into turn 3, Ethan Hicken just gets loose, carries it all the way through the center, sliding, and finally couldn't hang on to it off turn 4 and spun it around.
He sure was wheeling it though, wasn't he, Alex? He sure gave it a chance.
He definitely was trying to hang on to it, that's for sure.
Gotta admire the spirit. So, as we roll down here, we are looking at probably about 14 to go when we get back under green. Top 5 really hasn't changed too much here tonight. Alex, do you expect to see any ringers start to find their way in here in the end of this race?
Well, I think it's definitely a possibility if we get some green runs in here, and I think the cream will rise to the top. We'll go down your running order real quick. It's Chase Pearson first, Billy Snodgrass second, Travis Krimborg in third. You got Bentley Thompson sitting 4th, Axel Smith sitting 5th, Sean Hilkowitz in 6th, Everett Larson in 7th, Ty Dorn in 8th, Connor Robinson in 9th, Aiden Weaver in 10th, Brian Glover 11th, AJ Nichols 12th, Chandler Gallman 13th, Carson Sherman 14th, and rounding out your top 15 at the moment is Cameron Ladeau. So we'll see if any of those guys can get up to the front, and we'll see if they can, you know, slice and dice their way up there without racking up too many incident points.
Absolutely, Alex. So we come back to green out of turn 4. Chase Pierce going to lead him out.
Yep, Chase Pierce gets a good restart, but Travis Krimborg also gets a good restart. That's going to leave Billy Snodgrass out to dry on the outside. And I know from experience here, being on the outside, it can drop positions very fast. So we'll see him, I'm sure, try to get down and in line at some point as quick as possible. As he's still
especially with that loose off condition, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. He's still side by side with Billy Thompson here. It's a battle when you're on the outside here, especially being a flat track. It's a battle to hang on up there. You definitely want to file down as soon as possible.
Absolutely, but it looks like the 99's just going to have to fall all the way back to 5th. Oh, yellow flag's out. That might have saved him in the 4th spot there, which will give him another outside start. I'm sure that's just what he wants. Looking at the restart
down here in turn 1.
Yeah, that looks like the 101 car may be involved in this one.
Yeah, it looks like the 101 was coming off turn 4 here, had Chevy Romney close behind him and went to brake for the corner, and Chevy Romney was a little late on the brakes and gave him a tap, spinning them both around, and I believe that puts Edison Carter and Chevy Romney over the incident limit, so that's gonna put them out of the race early, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it looks like we have 4 cars total out of this race here tonight, Alex, and yeah, that incident limit I think going to become even more important to a few of these guys as we roll into these last few laps.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks to me like we'll have somewhere right about 7, maybe 8 laps to go as we get back to green on this one.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be sitting within a few points of that incident limit, because you never know what could happen. You never know what will happen in front of you, and you never know what you can get an extra 4X for contact here. So,
especially tonight, like we've seen with all the connection issues, getting that Phantom 4X off of a contact that iRacing thinks might have been there is going to definitely be the one to get a few guys here tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely a little more comfortability to having a little room to work with at the end with incident points. for
So we have
sure.
Chase Pierce and Travis Kremborg out here on the front row for this restart. Looks like we're coming back to green this time. How do you think that 5 car is going to fare on the outside? It's his first chance at the front row tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Considering how Billy Snodgrass, his first restart up there, he got kind of hung out. We'll see if he can slot in somewhere, and see if Travis Kremborg can slot in somewhere as they go green.
Great restart by the front row.
Got a bump from 97. What a save! Great save there by the 22 of Bentley Thompson.
Awesome driving by all of these guys to get through that clean. Amazing job.
And that's going to put the top 3 single filed out. You still got Billy Snodgrass stuck on the outside again, battling side by side by Axel Smith, with Connor Robinson right behind them, trying to keep Billy Snodgrass out there. And we're going to
tell you though, Alex, with 5 to go here, Chase Pierce is just pulling away. It's his show to lose from the looks of things at the moment.
Yeah, Chase Pierce is hooked up right now. We'll see if Travis Kremborg or even Bentley Thompson can get up there and give him a run for this money. Billy Snodgrass finally gets filed down back there into P6, as he's going to dive to the inside of Connor Robinson and give him a challenge for 5th. Looks like he's going to complete that pass. So move Billy Snodgrass back to 5th, with Axel Smith in 4th, Bentley Thompson in 3rd, and Travis Kremborg in 2nd.
I've been watching that battle for 2nd, Alex, and every now and again Bentley Thompson just gets a really good run off the corner, and Kremborg makes a small slip, and that we might have a new 2nd place finisher here before long.
Yeah, we'll see. The time's winding down, the laps are winding down, so we'll see if he can get up there and get this situated.
Coming to the white flag.
If Chase Pierce puts one more lap together, I think he's sitting pretty at the moment. We'll keep an eye on our battle for 2nd, battle for 3rd here, or 4th, I'm sorry. It's heading down into turn 3. Chase Pierce going to come out of turn 4, and he's going to be your race number 3 winner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the race number 3 of the Freight Racing and SpeedU Race for a Ride series.
And that's 2 in a row for Chase. That's impressive by that young man.
Yeah, he's definitely got some momentum at the moment. Travis Kremborg as well is going to have a good points night. So Chase Pierce here
burning down to celebrate. Look at that.
Yes, he is. That number 17 car is definitely, he said earlier, I had a brief chat with him. He said he was struggling at this track with the bumps, but he seems to have figured it out. And, like you said, brought home 2 in a row. So we'll see next week if anybody can bring a challenge for him. They definitely gave him a run for it today. Billy Snodgrass for a while, and Travis Kremborg was also there for a while giving him a challenge. So we'll go over your results page here, and then we'll talk to your top 3.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right, we're back here on Ballin TV with your post-race coverage from the Freight Racing SpeedU Race for a Ride series. Chase Pierce is going to bring it home in P1 for tonight. That makes 2 in a row for him, with Travis Kremborg in 2nd, Bentley Thompson 3rd. Axel Smith brings it home in 4th. Billy Snodgrass led a bunch of laps here tonight and got stuck on the outside, fell back to 5th. We have Connor Robinson bringing it home in 6th, Everett Larson 7th, Sean Hilkowitz in 8th, Chandler Gallman 9th, Cameron Ladeau in 10th. We have Ty Dorn bringing it home 11th, Carson Sherman in 12th, Brian Glover brings it home 13th, Aiden Slightholm in 14th, Chase Hart 15th, Ethan Hicken in 16th, AJ Nichols brings it home 17th tonight, Lucas Hayes in 18th, Aiden Weaver 19th. 20th will be Evan Johnson. 21st will be Chevy Romney. 22nd will be Brody Gunter. 23rd will be Edison Carter. And 24th, rounding out your field, will be Jacob Clayton. So we're going to go ahead and get your third place finisher up here. And Victor, I'll let you take over and interview Bentley here.
Absolutely.
Bentley Thompson, you got a copy in the booth with Victor and Alex?
Bentley, this is Victor and Alex up here in the broadcast booth. You got us?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Hey, man, and third place finish tonight. Tell me about how'd your car feel? How'd you feel there in the last few laps?
Car felt very well, very good. It was a little loose coming to the end, but that last restart was pretty insane. I thought I was going around, but I held on and came out third.
Yeah, Alex and I were commenting on that. That was a great piece of driving by everybody there, but it looks like you got sent off into one just a little bit and had to gather it up. What was going through your head as you were sliding through the grass for a moment there?
I tried to slow down early, trying to just be calm, but I braked way too early and I got hit, and I got very scared, and I just tried to hold on as much as possible, but I did. So yeah.
Definitely worked out for you there. Still came home with that P3 finish, and I was watching through that last run there. You had a couple of peaks at Kremborg in the 5. Take me through a couple of those battles.
Yeah, I was just trying to get underneath them so I could try, but one of them, I peeked underneath them at the wrong time, and it made I think it was Alex behind me, and it made him get to my rear bumper, and got me a little nervous, but I held on and fought back up to Kremborg and almost had him at the end, but still got P3.
Absolutely. That'll be a great points night for you here. You came into this race in
8th, I think.
Yeah, that's right. 8th position. So definitely going to be a good points night for you. Looks like we have about a month break before our next race at the Charlotte Legends Oval. How you looking to, how you feel about that track coming up?
The first week we were there, I was very good. I went second in qualifying and won my heat. So maybe I could try it again and maybe get a feature win.
Well, we're going to look forward to seeing your efforts there. Who do you want to thank tonight? Who got you out here?
I'd like to thank my mom and my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, all my sponsors on my real life car. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, great job. Nice finish. And we'll look forward to talking to you again this season as you wrap them up and bring home some more finishes.
All right. Hopefully I see you soon.
Thanks, Bentley. All right, we're going to move on to our second place finisher. Let's see if we can get him up here in the booth, get the headset switched over. Travis Kremborg, Alex and Victor up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, man, P2 tonight. How do you feel about that?
A little bit disappointed, but my main goal in this is to finish P7 every week. So as long as I can do that, positive. I just want a little bit more this week.
Well, goal exceeded there. You ended up running in third place for a good part of the first half of the race, and then got your chance up there on the outside. We saw the 99 up on the outside earlier in the race, and he kind of had a hard time making that restart work from second. So how'd you make it work so well for you?
Yeah, so on the restarts, it was definitely going to be a hard task on the outside to try and get down to the bottom, but I just stayed pretty even with Chase, and I was just staring in my mirror waiting for him to get the jump. And fortunately, I was able to get to the bottom and just run my race.
Absolutely. It looked like you had some really good pace there. One of the few cars that kind of hung with the 17 depending on the run, but we saw some changes kind of run to run, like the second or third restart you were right with him, and then that last one he got away a little bit. Was that just some trouble on your side getting going? What happened there? How did he get away so bad on that last restart?
I think it was just a factor of both my driving and also the tires. I feel like I showed some really good speed in the heat, being able to stick with him and almost passing him for the heat win. So that gave me more confidence coming into the race. But I think overall I just started overdriving it, and the tires started giving away.
Gotcha. Yeah, this updated tire model sure made for some more interesting racing in these cars for sure. So, looking ahead at what's coming up on the 4th of May, we're going to go to the Charlotte Legends Oval. You won the first race of the season there. How you feel rolling into Charlotte again?
Definitely feel confident, but who knows with the new Legend car and the updated tire model, but should be good. Like I said before, just got to finish top 7 for these first 8 races, and I feel like we'll definitely be able to do that and maybe go for the win as well.
Gotcha. Well, it's great to see you get that P2 out of here tonight. Who do you want to thank for getting you out to the track tonight?
Well, first, I just want to thank you guys for stepping into the broadcast. I know Brandon wasn't able to do it tonight. I want to thank DJ or Ballin TV, as well as SpeedU and Freight, and then my parents as well, because, like I said in previous interviews, they let me do this. They let me sit at my computer and do this all throughout the week. So big thanks to them.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats again on that P2, and we look forward to seeing you at the Charlotte Legends Oval next.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, we are going to bring up our race winner here, Chase Pierce. Let's get him up here in the booth.
Gotcha. We have our first place finisher here tonight, Chase Pierce. You got a copy up in the booth?
I got you.
All right. Well, how do you feel after bringing home 2 in a row?
Feels pretty good. Going into well, after practice tonight, I didn't know if I'd get the win tonight. You know, Travis and Billy and even Bentley had speed too tonight. I was struggling to get around this place. I couldn't hardly get in the 60s in practice. Finally, I think I cracked one off in qualifying finally, but I was still missing a little bit there. But we was able to find it and be consistent in the race, able to drive under Billy there when he slipped up on a restart into 1, and we got a caution there like a lap after I cleared him, and was able to come out with back-to-back wins.
Yeah, good race overall for you. Not having to be back in any trouble or anything, kind of just smooth sailing and planning your moves out accordingly. How you feel going back to Charlotte here in about a month?
Yeah, you know, I'm ready to get running the next one already by the time we're done with 1, you know, but yeah, I'm ready to get back to Charlotte. I like Charlotte better than I like Atlanta. I know Atlanta's where the real race will be, and which I believe track's been repaved. We won't be running on this track. I don't know how different it is, but yeah, Charlotte I like, and Atlanta we're gonna have to figure out. I know if we advance to the second round, hopefully we'll do. Right now it's looking good. I know that's the last race of the actual full championship in the second round. So we'll have to get a little bit better here. I'm sure that Travis, if he makes it, which right now it looks like he will, he's another fast one out here. I'm sure he'll pick something else up before then too. So it's gonna be tough.
Yes, sir. Definitely some people giving you a run for your money out there tonight. Which you made the move at the right time, brought it home first. Anybody you got to thank weekly for helping you get out here?
Oh yeah, my parents, Top Hat Comics, Six Shifter Sim Racing, Cottle Chassis, Red's Donut Shop, Shell Bell Bonds, Don and D Stone, Header Farm Equipment, Bark Buddies, Greg's Old Lexington Front End Frame Shop, Velosta, K-Cars Race Cars, Mark Keemer Performance, and everybody who puts us on, SpeedU FR8 Racing, you guys up in the broadcast, you, Alex, helping put this on, and Harrison for the great sim.
Yes, sir. That's your race winner for round 3 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Chase Pierce. We hope to talk to you again soon, and good luck next race.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you.
yes, sir. All right. So that was your race winner, Chase Pierce. That was your top 3. Travis Krimborg and Bentley Thompson rounding out the top 3. Any final thoughts here, Victor?
Well, we got our next race for this series coming up at the Charlotte Legends Oval. That's going to happen on May 4th at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Thoughts about the Charlotte track, Alex? You're more familiar with it than I am.
Yeah, the Charlotte track's definitely, I think it's a little longer straightaways, a little more narrow corners. It's very similar to the Atlanta track, though. It's probably a little smoother, probably a little easier to drive. So definitely looking forward to that. I know race 1 definitely was a good show and had a lot of guys with speed out there. So it'll be a toss up of who can be up front there and stay there and make the right moves at the right time. But just want to shout out SpeedU and Freight Racing for putting this all together. SpeedU is an online school for youth racers. Check them out on Facebook or their website. SpeedU does a lot for youth racing, and they big help for people that want to travel and race. You know, when kids are in school, not all schools give them an excuse or allow absences to go racing. They don't quite understand what it takes. So SpeedU covers that, and they allow youth racers to get all their learning in, do what they got to do academically and on the track to excel in both. So big shout out to SpeedU and Freight Racing for putting this all on. It's going to be definitely interesting and exciting battle. It's all the way to the end to see who gets this fully funded ride in a Legends car for a race at Atlanta Motor Speedway for NASCAR weekend in Spring Race 2026. So with all these youth guys out here, 13 to 18 years old, they are, I'm sure they're hungry to get that, and they're hungry to put in some work on here to go put in some work there. So also want to
we
thank
sure saw that tonight, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. Also want to thank Ballin TV for all they do, and the great broadcast they put on. All the viewers for tuning in, supporting their family members and drivers, and everybody that entered the contest. Give a big shout out to them too for sticking with it and giving it their all every week. So we will catch y'all back here for the race number 4. We will be off in 2 weeks for Easter. We'll be back here May 4th at Charlotte Motor Speedway with Ballin TV for the SpeedU Freight Racing Race for a Ride series. Hope to see you then.